Hey guys, my name is Lindsay and I'll be talking to you guys about the movie Spencer, which is about Princess Diana. And for those of you who might live under a rock, Princess Diana was married to the heir of the British throne, Prince Charles. Diana spoke up about mental health issues and she battled depression herself. Family was everything to her. And a quote that I really liked that she spoke up about was, "Carry out a random act of kindness with no expectation of reward, safe in the knowledge that one day someone might do the same for you." As for Charles and Diana's relationship, they first met when she was 16 years old and he was 29. And he was dating her older sister and she was playing with his younger brothers. And this quote from Prince Charles that really irks me is that he said he remembered thinking what a jolly, amusing, and attractive 16-year-old she was. And Diana was kind of amazed that someone of this caliber and power was interested in her. And at 19, she was engaged to him in 1981. From there, she gave birth to Prince William and Prince Harry, and after William's birth, she kind of fell into this postpartum depression. In 1986, Charles's affair began again and really kind of pushed this problem within their marriage. And the movie setting is in 1991 in the Christmas party, which happened every year. More on the movie setting. After 10 years, Diana's marriage has grown cold, and with rumors of affairs and a divorce on the horizon, the royal family gathers at the Queen's estate for Christmas festivities. This film really focuses on Diana's attempt to reclaim her freedom and independence from her husband as well as the crown. It highlights the pressures of a woman on the verge of complete psychological collapse, and she really struggles to navigate through this controlling atmosphere and hostility that's suffocating her and pressuring her to conform. The tone of the movie is grim, and it kind of reminds me of a horror movie in the way that it's suffocating and the intensity of it. And Pablo Larraín's filmmaking and Johnny Greenwood's score, as well as Kristen Stewart's acting, really make this film just spectacular. It's bleak but funny, depressing, but I really think it's uplifting, especially for women. As far as Kristen Stewart as Diana, she was nominated for lead actress for the Oscars, and I really think she perfected Diana's mannerisms, her highborn accent, as well as this trapped animal look. It just really all sold her performance. Kristen Stewart kind of talked about how she felt pressured as for playing such a beloved figure, but she's really proud of herself and what she put out there. Here is the trailer for Spencer.
Ma'am, they're waiting for you.
They know everything. They don't.
So, as far as ideologies go in the film, mental health is a big one, and especially the public attitudes towards the mentally ill. In this movie, it's not really addressed and it's hidden to the public, or at least tried to be. And this movie kind of reinforces this ideology. This movie features self-harm, eating disorders, however, nothing's really said of Diana's illness. It's hinted that people know of it in the film, but no one's really made a course of action or no one's really attempted to help. Mental health is thought to be embarrassing for the family and weak for the individual, and I really think that's reinforced in this film. As for passive ideologies, I think they really take a stab at trying to take down this masculinity aspect. There's a scene where Diana's sons don't really want to go hunting or use guns, but Charles demands that his sons accompany him, and that he did when he was their age. Diana interrupts this and really just kind of tries to convince that it's not good and they don't have to do it if they don't want to. And ultimately they do end up going, but Diana interrupts the entire hunt at the end of the film and takes them away from the situation, creating this escape valve. But ultimately, this idea of toxic masculinity, that boys are taught to like things that exude masculinity, such as physical or outdoor activities, which really is portrayed in this film a little bit. So this scene is really important. It's known as a breakup scene, but there's really a lot underneath the surface. So there's immense dialogue in this, but no one's really talking about the heart of the problem. They're really going around it. And this is like the real face-to-face interaction between them, Charles and Diana. And it really is a symbolic scene. So there's positioning of these balls on the snooker table, and I really urge you to pay attention how Charles is in a defensive stance, and Diana's is more spread out and just distant, really. And it really, it's a really good scene. The cannons are written in the script, and the suns are shooting outside, and there's just like this talk of having two of you and being trapped in this wheel of tradition and history, so you can never really be yourself. And there's also this, they use a wide angle lens, which really captures this cold and distant look between Charles and Diana. So pay close attention. There's a lot of things in this scene. Hope you guys enjoy.
Yesterday, you arrived after the Queen.
I got lost.
Oh, how could you get lost? You've lived over the hill for years.
It looks different now. Everything looks different. Except the scarecrow.
Yes, she says you took a jacket off a scarecrow.
It was a bit of fun.
You sure you went late yesterday because you were delayed by someone?
Someone?
I just thought someone might have delayed you.
No. Sometimes you get delayed by someone. No one says anything. It's perfectly acceptable for you to be delayed by someone.
How can you ask if it's safe? It's a tradition.
Why did you send Maggie away?
They said you left the curtains open.
I left the curtains open.
They are circling us. Didn't you know? Don't you read? They're hungry for anything. Why are you swapping dresses around?
Why would you think I got delayed by someone?
Oh, come on, come on.
He said he didn't want to shoot yet.
He's old enough.
And you want him to shoot real birds tomorrow?
For God's sake. Also, one of Major Gregory's men said he saw you wandering around in the grounds last night.
I wanted to see my house.
The police caught you, but didn't report it. But Gregory's men saw you as well, because they're better than the police.
I wanted to go home.
It's boarded up.
Yes. But I wish it would be unboarded. But if I wish it out loud, it means it definitely
You
won't
talk like
happen.
a baby who isn't being spoiled enough.
I would like it if you didn't make him shoot real birds tomorrow. I would like it if you didn't buy me pearls because you bought us both the same thing. If they're circling, it seems they're circling just me. Not you. Just me.
Perhaps it's because I always take care to close my curtains. The thing is, Diana, there has to be two of you. There's two of me, there's two of Father, two of everyone. There's the real one and the one they take pictures of. Now, we are given tasks. Now, I hated to shoot at first. I gave my gun to the other one, but you know, you have to be able to make your body do things you hate.
That you hate.
That you hate.
That you hate.
Yes. For the good of the country.
For the country?
Yes, the people. Because they don't want us to be people. That's how it is. I'm sorry, I thought you knew. So please stick to the list as it is written, in the order that it is written. If Dresser gets upset.
I want Maggie back.
Someone heard Maggie saying she thinks you're cracking up.
What?
Yes, everyone here hears everything. They just don't always tell you what they've heard.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that. The part when Charles rolls the ball over towards Diana, trying to get her to play along in this game, symbolically and figuratively and literally. And so he rolls this ball over to her, and she stops it, and he goes to walk away, and she grabs the ball, and she drops it because she's not willing to play the game, and she's not willing to fight anymore, and she's not giving up, but she's choosing herself over this conforming environment. So it's really powerful stuff. As far as terms in the film that I want to address, it does pass the Bechdel test. There's conversations between Diana and her favorite maid. There's also this sort of defamiliarization. It makes the audience kind of see the crown in a different perspective or light. There's also an escape valve, like I said before, when Diana leaves with her sons. But the really interesting concept of panopticism, I think, is shown in this film, and how the media and the royal family have eyes everywhere, and that she really feels like she's being watched 24/7. I also think there can be this idea of the uncanny, in where she feels like she's starting all over again, going from growing up to breaking down, and returning to a state where Diana's just not in control. As far as political standing of the film, I think the film's progressive mostly. There's a push to be a family unit, but Charles' affair kind of makes that impossible. There's brief representation of the LGBTQ+ community. Diana, to me, is an obvious outsider to the crown. She also seems to break a lot of rules, however, we're still on her side. To speak to the absolute versus relative narrative. And although Diana is shown to be a very emotional woman, there's something empowering about the way that she's breaking that speaks to this hereditary versus environment idea. So also, the big one for me was the idea of ambivalence. I feel like this film kind of makes you rethink the hierarchy of the British crown and how we respect it so much, but that there's something to be almost feared, or make you take a step back and think that maybe the way that things are done isn't always right. It just kind of makes you think a little bit, and you're not really sure about your feelings on where you stand. As for echoing culture, I think the evolution of mental health in the midst of COVID is connected to the film. It really addresses the issue that mental health concerns should be normalized and made a priority. I think that it's represented well in the film, and although it's hard to talk about in life, I think movies like this make it a good point to start talking about it. as far as closure, this film is about Diana finding herself and recognizing that she can't necessarily heal in the same environment that broke her. The movie's called Spencer because it was her family's name before she married Charles, and it was kind of an attempt to reclaim herself. And as many of you guys know, Diana died in a car accident in Paris in 1997. But many people believe that there is someone behind her death, particularly the agents of British state. And at first I was not really interested in the idea, but there's some research behind it that might make you question it. And my biggest reason is because she herself thought that she was going to be killed. There's this letter disclosed by Diana's butler, which read, "I'm sitting here at my desk today in October, longing for someone to hug me and encourage me to keep strong and hold my head high. This particular phase of my life is most dangerous. Someone is planning an accident in my car, brake failure, and a serious head injury in order to make the path clear for Charles to remarry." So that kind of blew my mind a little. I know there's not much, but if you look into it, it's a little interesting. But I hope you guys go out and watch this film. It's on Hulu. It's really interesting. And if you guys like it and want more, there's a Netflix documentary called Diana in Her Own Words. Hope you guys watch it. Thank you guys for paying attention.